one thing I know for sure, don't do it like me. Do it like you.
So it's obvious that this year, Marvel's biggest hype was around Fantastic Four, which hit theaters in about a month. But what about the next couple of years? In this video, I'm sharing Marvel's most anticipated movies coming out in 2026 and 2027. SpiderMan Brand New Day, July 31st, 2026. I've followed every Spider-Man film like it's a personal tradition, but something about Spider-Man Brand New Day hits different. It's not just another sequel. It feels like a reset, a chance to really dig into who Peter Parker is without all the noise. And with Destin Daniel Cretton, the man behind Shang-Chi, directing this one, I've got good reason to believe it won't be the usual superhero beatdown with some web tricks thrown in. Let's start with the title, Brand New Day. It's straight from a 2008 comic arc where Peter makes a painful decision, giving up his relationship with Mary Jane to save Aunt May's life. It cost him everything. People forgot who he was, and he had to start over. Sound familiar? No Way Home left Peter exactly there. Alone, erased from his friends' memories, trying to move on. So now what? The rumors say Peter's just trying to live a quiet life, get through college, and avoid more superhero chaos. But then, Doomsday happens. Nobody knows what that means yet, but it sounds serious enough to drag him back into the fight. And with his closest friends like MJ and Ned not even remembering him, the emotional weight of that choice? Heavy. That's the pull for me. It's not just about who he'll fight, it's about whether he'll even recognize himself when it's over. Tom Holland's back, of course. I don't think anyone brings out Peter's mix of charm and pain better than him. Zendaya and Jacob Batalon are also returning, but here's the catch. They don't know Peter anymore. That's the tension I'm dying to see play out. Watching him work with or protect the people he loves without them knowing who he really is, that's raw storytelling. Now, let's talk about Sadie Sink. Her role hasn't been confirmed, but the internet has exploded with theories. Some think she's Mayday Parker, Peter and MJ's daughter from another universe. Others think she could be Lily Hollister, aka Menace, a villain with ties to the Brand New Day comics. Either way, she's not just background, she's a wild card. And then there's Liza Colon Zayas. No details yet, but if you've seen her in The Bear, you know she brings presence. Her role might ground the story, maybe in Peter's everyday life or in the criminal underworld. And speaking of villains, this movie doesn't hold back. The names floating around are Scorpion, Boomerang, and Tombstone. Scorpion isn't new. We saw Michael Mando's Mac Gargan in Homecoming. He's due for a real showdown. Boomerang and Tombstone are fresh additions. Boomerang's tech game is strong, and Tombstone, a street-level brute with ties to crime syndicates. If the MCU leans into these guys instead of another alien invasion, we're in for something gritty and grounded. But that's not all. There's buzz about Mr. Negative, Martin Lee. He's a crime boss with a split personality and dark force powers. That duality could mirror Peter's own identity crisis. If he's in the movie, and if they do it right, he could steal the show. Filming starts summer 2025, and they're shooting in London. Marvel's teaming up again with Columbia Pictures, and the whole thing's getting an IMAX and Dolby Atmos treatment. It's going to look sharp, but it's the direction I'm more excited about. Cretton promised something emotional, something we haven't seen before. Coming from the guy who gave us those intimate character beats in Shang-Chi, I believe him. We haven't seen a trailer yet, but we got a taste at CinemaCon. Tom Holland sent a video calling this film a fresh start, and promo art showed off a new suit. Classic red and blue, darker tones, tight lines. Finally something that feels pulled right from the comics. It's subtle, but it says a lot. This Peter isn't flashy anymore, he's focused. The fan response? Wild. Some are hoping for Harry Osborn's return. Others are scared this might repeat the mistakes of the One More Day comic, which many fans hated for undoing years of Peter's growth. But what's clear is that everyone's talking. Whether it's Sadie Sink's role, potential multiverse cameos, or just that new suit, this film has people guessing, arguing, hoping. And the MCU connections are already forming. This is the 39th MCU film, part of Phase 6. It could tee up Avengers Secret Wars, especially if they start pulling more from alternate universes. Characters like Jackpot, Carly Cooper, or even Mr. Negative could play bigger roles in the broader story. And on the street level, this could link up with Daredevil Born Again. Spider-Man in the shadows of New York, dealing with crime bosses, not cosmic threats, that's the Peter I've been waiting for. Now here's the thing, Brand New Day isn't trying to outdo the last Spider-Man movie with bigger effects or more cameos. It looks like it wants to go deeper. What happens when you've lost everything, but you still choose to help others? That's the essence of Peter Parker. So yeah, I'm counting down. July 31st, 2026 can't come soon enough. This isn't just another Spider-Man movie, it's a chance to tell a story that actually matters, one that doesn't forget what made us care about Peter in the first place. Avengers Doomsday, December 18th, 2026. I still remember the silence in the theater after Iron Man snapped his fingers in Endgame. That moment felt final. But Marvel wasn't done, not by a long shot. And now, after years of build-up, stumbles, and waiting, Avengers Doomsday is coming. December 18th, 2026. A date that might just reset everything we know about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phases 4 and 5 have been messy. Sure, Guardians 3 hit the emotional notes, and Wakanda Forever carried the weight of legacy beautifully. But we've also seen misfires like The Marvels, films that didn't just underperform, they pulled down the energy of the entire universe. No team-up movies, no central threat that really stuck. And without the Avengers, the MCU started to feel like scattered puzzle pieces. That changes now. Marvel is going back to the formula that worked. Big ensemble cast, familiar faces, a central villain. And the Russo brothers, yes, those Russos, are back in the director's chair. They gave us Infinity War and Endgame, and now they're steering Doomsday and the follow-up Secret Wars. This is Marvel betting on experience. And let's talk about the most shocking return, Robert Downey Jr. Not as Tony Stark, but as Dr. Doom. That's not just bold casting, that's Marvel turning its own legacy on its head. Downey helped build the MCU, and now he might help burn it down from the inside. Whether he's playing a twisted version of Tony Stark or a straight-up Victor Von Doom, the symbolism here is impossible to ignore. And it doesn't stop there. We've got Benedict Cumberbatch back as Doctor Strange, Pedro Pascal and the rest of the Fantastic Four cast joining the battle, and Anthony Mackie continuing his journey as Captain America. There are also strong rumors swirling around Tom Holland, Chris Evans, and even Patrick Stewart. That's a lot of firepower, and that's before we even consider the mutants. Yes, mutants. After years of waiting, it looks like they're finally becoming a major part of the MCU. Leaked set footage supposedly shows Sentinels towering over a battlefield. Another clip hints at Madripoor, a mutant haven introduced in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. These might be leaks, they might be red herrings, but they fit the bigger story Marvel seems to be telling. If you've read Secret Wars, especially the 2015 version by Jonathan Hickman, you know the kind of chaos Dr. Doom can unleash. He's not just another villain, he's a god-level manipulator. The kind who doesn't fight battles, he rewrites reality. If that's the direction Marvel's heading, then Doomsday isn't just a title, it's a warning. Some theories suggest Doomsday is going to be a secret Avengers vs. XMen movie. Doom pulling strings in the background, turning allies against each other. It would be messy, violent, tragic, and it would be exactly what the MCU needs. Stakes. Real ones, with consequences that don't get fixed by time travel or magic portals. The return of the Russo brothers gives this story credibility. They know how to handle massive casts, overlapping plot lines, and moments that stick with audiences. And they're not doing it alone. Stephen McFeely is writing the script. He helped craft The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. This trio knows how to land big emotional punches while managing huge spectacle. Then there's the music. Alan Silvestri is back. The man who scored some of the MCU's most unforgettable moments will now shape the sound of Doom. There's even talk that Doom's theme might echo Tony Stark's, Twisted and Corrupted. If true, that's genius. It would underline the idea that this villain is a reflection of the hero who started it all. Now, will Doomsday actually deliver? That's the question. The last few years have shown us that Marvel is no longer bulletproof. Fan goodwill has limits, and the box office has changed. People need more than nostalgia, they need a reason to care again. But here's why I think Doomsday could work. It's not just another Marvel movie, it's a course correction. It's Marvel taking its past, its future, and its biggest star and reshuffling the deck. If it pulls this off, Doomsday could stand alongside Infinity War and Endgame as one of the greats. If it doesn't, it might mark the end of an era. Marvel's future is tied to Doomsday, and we won't have to wait long to see how it all plays out. SpiderMan Beyond the Spider-Verse, June 4th, 2027. When Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ended, I just sat there, stunned. That cliffhanger? Brutal. Miles trapped in a reality that isn't his, Gwen putting together a team to go save him, a darker version of Miles waiting in the shadows as the Prowler, and then those words. To be continued. I've been waiting ever since. Now finally, we have a date. June 4th, 2027. That's when Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse hits theaters. Over a year passed with no updates. The delay felt endless. We kept hearing the same thing, it'll come when it's ready. But now it's official, the trilogy will end in 2027, and if the build-up means anything, this finale will be worth every minute we've waited. This movie picks up the exact moment the last one ended. That's not a guess, that's a promise from producer Phil Lord himself. No time jump, no warm-up, we're dropping straight into the chaos. Miles is face-to-face with his alternate self, the Prowler version of him from Earth 42. He's stuck, powerless, and very far from home. Meanwhile, Gwen is leading a brand new team of Spider people on a rescue mission. She's not alone. Peter B. Parker is back, and this time he's bringing Mayday, his baby daughter, Spider-Punk, Spider-Man India, Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Man Noir are all rejoining the fight. These characters aren't just cameos anymore, this time they're central to the mission. The threat is bigger than ever. The Spot isn't gone, not by a long shot. He's out there, twisted and dangerous, tearing through dimensions. And his goal is clear: destroy everything Miles loves. The emotional weight here is real. This isn't just a multiverse adventure, it's personal, and it's complicated. Spider-Man 2099, played by Oscar Isaac, sees the whole thing differently. He thinks Miles is a mistake, a glitch in the multiverse. He believes some events, the canon events, can be changed. That a Spider-Man always has to lose someone, that Miles shouldn't have tried to interfere, that he never should have been bitten at all. But Miles, he's not buying that, and honestly, neither am I. What's fascinating about Beyond the Spider-Verse isn't just the plot, it's the characters. Miles Morales has come so far. He started as a confused teen who didn't even want to be Spider-Man. Now, he's standing against the entire multiverse to protect his family and friends. This version of Spider-Man isn't about fate, it's about choice. And let's talk about that other Miles, the Prowler, the one who didn't become Spider-Man, the one who didn't have a Peter Parker to guide him. This version grew up in a world without a Spider-Man, and the result is chilling. Watching our Miles face off against who he could have been, that's going to hit hard. The animation is evolving again too. The filmmakers didn't want to rush this. They've said it outright, they're breaking the boundaries again. Every movie in this trilogy has raised the bar. Into the Spider-Verse won an Oscar. Across the Spider-Verse pushed style and emotion to new heights. Now, Beyond the Spider-Verse is taking one final swing. Christopher Miller, one of the producers, teased this moment on social media with just a spider emoji and a pause. That's all it took to stir the fandom. And then came the stills, Miles hanging upside down, Gwen and the team on strange tech, the city warped in new ways. Even in snapshots, it all looks stunning. The cast is returning too. Shamik Moore is back as Miles. Haley Steinfeld returns as Gwen, and yes, Jason Schwartzman's Spot isn't finished. Also coming back are Brian Tyree Henry as Jefferson Davis, Luna Lauren Velez as Rio Morales, and Mahershala Ali as Uncle Aaron, this time the Earth 42 version. The scope is huge, but at its core, this is still Miles' story. From the beginning, the Spider-Verse movies have been about identity, about belonging, about loss. Miles has had to fight to be accepted by others, and even harder to accept himself. In every universe, Spider-Man deals with grief, with sacrifice, with the weight of responsibility. But Miles redefines that responsibility. He's not a hero because he was chosen. He's a hero because he chooses to be. That's what sets him apart. And now, in the biggest fight of his life, he's not just fighting villains, he's fighting the idea that he doesn't belong. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse isn't just the end of a trilogy, it's the conclusion of a journey that started with a scared boy under a mask. A boy who's now ready to face an entire multiverse to write his own story. June 4th, 2027. That's when we get to see how it ends. I'll be there, seat locked in, ready to watch Miles Morales make history one last time. Avengers Secret Wars, December 17th, 2027. The story is starting again, not just with a sequel, but with a shift. Avengers Secret Wars is coming on December 17, 2027. And it isn't just another movie, it's being shaped as the biggest Marvel event we've ever seen. Bigger than Infinity War, bigger than Endgame. This isn't just the end of the Multiverse Saga, it's the launch pad for whatever comes next. Here's what I know. The movie will follow Avengers Doomsday, coming in 2026, which itself is shaping up to be a monster of a film. 60 characters are returning for that one. 60! And both films are being directed by the Russo brothers. That means the same vision and energy we got from Infinity War and Endgame is coming back, but with a twist. Joe Russo has already said it. These aren't ending stories anymore. Doomsday and Secret Wars are a beginning, and that changes everything. The casting news is where things really start to get interesting. We already know that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, but he's not coming back as Iron Man. This time he's playing Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom. Then there's the Fantastic Four. Marvel's first family is finally becoming a major part of the MCU. Pedro Pascal is our Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. It makes sense, he's a calm presence, but there's always something going on beneath the surface. That fits Reed perfectly. He's been confirmed for both Doomsday and Secret Wars, which tells me he's not just showing up, he's central. Vanessa Kirby will play Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. She's already proven herself in intense, emotional roles. Sue's not just a side character, she's often the heart of the Fantastic Four. Kirby could bring the kind of depth that Marvel sometimes misses when it gets too caught up in spectacle. And then there's Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. He's got that spark, literally and metaphorically. We've seen what he can do in Stranger Things. If Marvel leans into his charisma and recklessness, he could be a standout. Ebon Moss-Bacharach is stepping into the role of Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. With these new additions, Marvel is clearly laying the foundation for a future team to take the mantle forward. And the fact that all four are confirmed for Secret Wars, that's not an accident, they're going to matter. So what's the plot? We don't have all the pieces yet, but we do have clues. The film will draw from the 2015 Secret Wars comic storyline, where the multiverse collapses into a single world, Battle World, ruled by Dr. Doom as a god. It's chaos. Universes colliding, heroes pulled from different timelines, forced to face off and team up. Eventually, the multiverse has to be rebuilt, and that's where this gets interesting. So yeah, the pressure's on. Expectations are sky high, but there's something exciting in the air. Avengers Secret Wars feels like a gamble, but it's the kind of gamble that could reshape everything. As fans, we're used to big endings. This time we're getting a beginning, and the future of Marvel is massive, emotional, and more unpredictable than ever. From a grounded Peter Parker to multiversal madness, these upcoming films could redefine what the MCU is all about. Which one are you most hyped for? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I'll be reading them all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big update. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay super.